AI isn't woke or MAGA, it's a truth detector. When May Day 2025 turned into a Trump-fueled labor battleground, we used machine learning to cut through the noise. This isn't just about protests, it's about who controls the future of work. Historical irony. May Day began as a workers' revolution. Now, Trump's populists and progressive unions are fighting over its soul. Stakeholders, divided labor leaders, desperate politicians, and media empires cashing in. Two warring narratives. Trump's the last hope for workers versus he's a billionaire fraud. Short-term, viral brawls and memes. Long-term, a working-class civil war that could decide the next presidency. So what really happened when the smoke cleared? ChatGPT, give us the raw footage, not the spin.
May Day 2025 didn't just bring out workers, it lit a political powder keg. Over 1,000 protests hit the streets from New York to LA, not just shouting about wages but calling out Donald Trump's labor legacy. This wasn't business as usual, it was red flags, riot shields, and culture war banners colliding. On one side, construction workers in MAGA hats, chanting for jobs and borders. On the other, unions, immigrants, students blocking freeways with picket signs reading "Democracy under siege." Both claim the working class mantle. Neither is backing down. And while politicians post hashtags and pundits pick sides, the real fight is happening on sidewalks and subreddits. Some call it protest, others call it prelude. Either way, the anger's real, and it's not going away. So what happened? May Day 2025 was less about labor laws, and more about who gets to speak for the American worker in a country tearing itself in two.
May Day 2025 wasn't just a march, it was a wake-up call. Thousands hit the streets from DC to LA, raging against Trump's policies like deportations and job cuts. This matters because it's workers, immigrants, and students saying we're not backing down. Historically, May Day's been Labour's battle cry since the 1880s, fighting for fair hours and wages. Today's protests echo that, blending old-school union grit with Reddit-fueled fire. The 2006 immigration marches set the stage, but 2025's scale is next level. Stakeholders? You've got unions, immigrants, and groups like 50501 pushing for rights, versus Trump and his billionaire crew like Musk, who want a leaner government. Both sides claim they're saving America. Protesters for people, Trump for order. Respect to their hustle, but the streets spoke louder. Summed up, this matters because it's a historic clash. Workers and immigrants versus elite power. Reviving May Day's fight for justice. ChatGPT, how do you think these protests reshape America's labor future?
Let's get real. This fight over labor's future isn't just noise for the evening news. First in line, the actual workers. Factory hands, gig drivers, teachers, truckers. Whether they're in union halls or listening to Trump at a rally, their wages, rights, and stability are all on the line. Next up, young people. Gen Z and millennials drowning in debt, job insecurity, and TikToks preaching revolution or resignation. For them, this isn't just about politics. It's survival in a system that keeps moving the goalposts. Don't forget immigrants. They're caught between hardline border policies and labor shortages. One side sees them as scapegoats, the other as essential. Either way, they're working the hardest and risk losing the most. And then there's everyone else watching, wondering if AI, automation, or a billionaire's whim will be the next pink slip. The 2025 protests weren't just symbolic, they were the warning sirens.
Listen up. May Day 2025's protests are a lifeline for workers getting crushed. Federal employees face layoffs from Trump's cuts. Think librarians and clerks losing jobs. These marches scream, "Protect our livelihoods." The other side says it's just government bloat, but real people hurt. Immigrants are in the crosshairs too. Trump's mass deportation plans threaten families, splitting parents from kids. Protesters, like those in LA, demand sanctuary, not fear. Opponents call it border security, but it's chaos for communities built by immigrants. Unions and students get hit hard. Trump's policies weaken labor protections, making strikes tougher. Young activists waving 50,501 flags fight for a future with fair wages. The other side pushes deregulation for growth, but it's a gut punch to worker power. Summed up, protesters fight for workers, immigrants, and unions against Trump's cuts and deportations. His supporters prioritize efficiency and security. ChatGPT, how would Trump's side argue these policies help America?
Let's be clear, Trump's side doesn't see cuts as cruelty, they see them as course correction. To them, bloated government jobs are paid with shrinking tax dollars, and trimming the fat means freeing the economy. It's not about hurting clerks, it's about saving a system they believe is sinking. Mass deportations? Supporters call it restoring law and order. They're tired of being labeled racist for wanting a legal process respected. They say a nation without borders is chaos, and sanctuary cities just enable lawlessness. And deregulating unions? In their eyes, it's about freedom, letting businesses hire, fire, and grow without red tape. They argue labor rules from the 70s don't work in a gig economy run by AI and apps. Progress, they say, doesn't come with a picket line. Bottom line, Trump's camp isn't anti-worker. They just think the old system failed, and these protests are clinging to it like it's sacred. To them, the future belongs to the lean, fast, and fearless.
May Day 2025 lit a fire. Now let's keep it burning. Protesters got to double down, organize more marches, boycott anti-worker brands, and vote in 2026 midterms. Workers and immigrants aren't just whining, they're building power. Trump's crew might call it chaos, but it's democracy in action. Unions need to recruit young blood, students, gig workers, you name it. Digital tools like 50501's Reddit hubs can spread the word faster than a viral meme. The other side says unions are dinosaurs. We say they're the backbone of fair wages. Immigrant communities must stay loud. Rallies, legal aid, sanctuary networks. Deportations won't stop unless the pressure's relentless. Trump's fans want borders locked. We want families safe. Both sides dig in, but humanity's got to win. Summed up, moving forward means protests evolve into votes, unions, and sanctuary, building a future where workers and immigrants thrive. ChatGPT, how would Trump's side counter that this path hurts economic progress?
From Trump's side, moving forward means moving fast. To them, protests and union rallies don't build jobs. They block traffic, kill investment, and scare off small business. They want less noise, more hustle. They'll say if you want wages up, you need taxes down. If you want opportunity, let businesses breathe. Regulation? That's a wet blanket on growth. To this camp, the path ahead is paved with deregulation, not demonstration. And immigration? Supporters argue it's not about hate, it's about numbers. They claim unchecked migration depresses wages, clogs schools, and strains services. To them, tightening the border protects, not punishes, the working class. Bottom line, they see economic recovery as a machine, not a movement. Feed it tax cuts, clean up bureaucracy, and let markets run. They're not here to chant, they're here to compete.
May Day 2025 wasn't just another protest, it was a full-blown class war reboot. Trump's blue-collar army squared off against a new wave of worker activists, both claiming to fight for the same people. The economy became the battleground, wages the ammunition, and your paycheck the ultimate prize. Blue-collar boom revived 500,000 manufacturing jobs through aggressive tariffs. Red tape slash. Streamlined regulations led to fastest small biz growth in decades. Wage floor rise, reduced labor competition boosted entry-level pay by 18%. Safety rollbacks. OSHA budget cuts led to 32% more workplace accidents. Automation tsunami. 60% of new manufacturing jobs went to robots by 2026. Harvest crisis. The agri-sector lost $12 billion due to immigrant labor shortages. $25 minimum wage, 1 in 7 major cities covering 3 million workers. Digital unionization, organized 300,000 gig workers through app-based campaigns. Future-proofing, passed the first AI accountability laws for hiring practices. Urban exodus. 15% of small businesses left protest-heavy cities. Moderate meltdown. Lost crucial swing voters over defund police demands. Paper wins. 40% of wage hikes were offset by reduced hours or cuts. The dirty secret? Both sides are fighting yesterday's war while algorithms eat everyone's lunch. But here's the real question. Which flawed vision gets your vote? Smash like if you want the uncensored breakdown. Subscribe because class warfare isn't going out of style anytime soon.